What's up guys, Nolan here, and even though it's gotten more difficult to estimate Tarkov patches these days, I will still do my best to explain what I can so that you guys have the best information that you can. Nikita, the lead dev of Escape from Tarkov, said that they will not be having a Tarkov TV stream for patch 12.11, so we do not have our usual patch is imminent indicator anymore. I would say look out for patch notes, but we also don't know if we'll get those before, during, or after the patch is being uploaded. So really, it is just a waiting game right now, and it could pop up any day now. Now, in terms of today, unless BSG really overestimates how much fun we have killing Killa, this thing with Killa on Factory is not the pre-wipe event. I guess this is just a small event for some reason. I assume they wanted to test something about the factory location or how they would move a Scav boss around because he can still be found on Interchange, or they just wanted people to get used to running Factory because of the factory expansion coming up next. I wouldn't be surprised if they spring up that free labs weekend or some kind of weekend event as well, as long as they think the patch is still a couple days off, as I really don't think that they would drop a patch on a weekend. Now, when you see all of the traders fully unlocked for you with everything super cheap to buy, then that is the pre-wipe event. The difference there being the effect on someone's progression. Unlocking all of the traders is the progression right now, so if they just give that to you, then it's because they think that you have so little time left that you weren't going to get it anyway. If you ask me, I think 12.11 still makes sense to be a wipe, but I won't drag on about it again. The TLDR is that I think it makes the most sense to have a fresh start for features like Scav Karma and with the weapon rebalancing they'll be doing, along with the amount of time that's gone by. You can take it or leave it, that's just my thought on it. As of the recording of this video, 12.11 still has no date, and it has not been confirmed as a wipe or not. The best guess that we have right now is that they can decide to drop 12.11 any day now, realistically. I know we all love the Thursday meme, and BSG may end up still doing it on a Thursday, so we can stick to that thought if we want, but I don't see why BSG couldn't drop it any other day. In terms of what will be in 12.11, we have Scav Karma, the factory expansion with the Scav boss, Killa, or Kubaldo, whichever one you want to call him. There's changes to leveling from player XP to weapons to skills. There's a bunch of weapon and weapon attachment stat rebalancing, along with new ballistics for the environments, and our first look at real weapon malfunctions with misfires. For the ballistics and penetration rework, Nikita specifically mentioned the differences in places that we would usually use as cover and how some particular and even popular ones will no longer be safe. I would have to assume there's some very thin walls, or maybe there's some cars or something that people would usually use for cover that are no longer going to be very significant cover to the larger caliber weapons in the game. There's also going to be the first of several scope and optic rework iterations. We're going to get the Mark 47 Mutant, the MP155 shotgun, and a couple new small thermals, which we'll talk about again in a second. When it comes to other guns, we could get the USP, we could get the SCAR, we could get a couple other things, but Nikita hasn't specifically talked about those recently, so we just don't know. And along with that, Nikita also said there was more coming with the patch, but did not give specifics, and even said that he wanted to keep some of them secret, so we'll just see what pops up. Now, if you heard me during Good Morning Tarkov yesterday, or you heard me in my most recent video, you might be asking why I'm salty about not getting a Tarkov TV, and that is because this is an early access game. We are all playing this while we wait for the devs to finish the final product. So I see it as kind of an obligation for the team to give proper official progress updates, of which these small interviews with Nikita are just not. If we had these small talks with Nikita twice a month or more, then I'd be okay with not having official streams, but we don't. I believe we really need occasional official progress reports on the team, and the last one that we got was in March. I'm okay with quarterly updates as well, but this isn't going to be a quarterly unless they do it after the patch is live, because when else would they do the next one? If it's going to be in 2 or 3 months with the next patch, then that's not quarterly, and it's also not ideal. However, I guess I'll take what I can get these days. So Scav Karma is in fact coming with patch 12.11. I want to see what this does to the ecosystem of Escape from Tarkov. One thing that would help that is the bonuses that you get from behaving as a Scav. Right now, we know you get reputation with Fence. At some point, that rep allows you to buy lost uninsured gear from him from your PMC. It was said that this comes as a level 2 with Fence, so if he has the same 4 levels as the rest of the traders, I'm willing to bet he gets some really interesting stuff down the line. You will also get better starting gear with your Scavs. Unfortunately, past that, we don't know much, and I think most people won't care at first if this is all that we get. Those that don't care or don't know it's even a thing will probably still kill on site as a Scav until the streamers figure out what exactly those bonuses are. We got to remember though that that will take time, which unfortunately will cause a ripple of kill on site stuff before info is actually out there, making it likely very difficult to proceed. This being because the people that kill on site will kill the players trying not to, and the players that want to progress and won't kill on site or kill other Scavs can't fight back, making this all take much longer. If I could ask one question to Nikita right now in this case, it would be, if you get shot by a Scav player, does that mean you will not get bad karma if you then return return fire and kill that scav player that shot you. Because if that's not the case, this is going to be pretty difficult if there's a lot of people that still want to kill on site as a scav. I think scav karma is going to get a bumpy start to say the least, but hopefully everyone figures it out by the time PMC karma rolls around. With the weapon malfunctions, we will be getting misfires first, which as far as I know is mostly an issue with the type of ammunition. Unless your gun is so bad, there's an issue with the firing pin. Nikita mentioned that taking care of the durability of your weapon will help avoid this. So like I've said before, take care of your weapon and your weapon should take care of you. He also said certain weapon attachments will affect the rate at which your weapon will degrade. He specifically called it a durability burn modifier for different attachments and ammo. Things like cheap ammo, suppressors, muzzle devices, and dust covers will affect durability burn on a weapon depending on the type and its use. So as a quick example, an AKM with a dust cover and a muzzle brake shooting good ammo theoretically should degrade slower than an AKM with a suppressor and no dust cover shooting cheap ammo. Apparently there will be a new line of statistics on the attachments and the ammo to show the specific durability burn modifier for each item. Moving on to the small thermals that you can attach to the MP155 and the new little red dot size thermal, hear me out for a second. I think that these have potential for being the best thermals in the game based on exactly one thing, and that thing is if these thermals will still show you what the thermal camera sees on the screen while you are not aiming down the sights, because in theory they should work that way. That's just a screen. If this ends up being the case, then these small kind of quirky thermals may end up being the best in the game, especially for the red dot one, because I would think you could put that on a canted sight, which would obviously be a first with thermals. If that does end up being the case, you could rock any of the 4 or 6 or more magnification sights with a little thermal on the side as a spotting scope kind of deal. You won't need to see exactly where that person is, you would just need to see some kind of heat signature, and then you can click back over to your normal scope and be approximately right on target. So if that ends up being the case, I am very interested in what we're going to be seeing from these new smaller thermals. That is all that we have for 12.11 right now, so if your buddy tells you someone said that wipe is tomorrow, here's everything that you can then tell them. If you have any questions or concerns, go ahead and drop them in the comments, or you can come by our brand new Discord. The link is in the description. And that is also going to do it for today, guys. For the latest Tarkov news or content, you can check out these playlists here. If you like this video, then you know the drill. Please subscribe. I really appreciate the people who do. If you like more games than just Tarkov, check out my second channel. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.